for my favorite time of the week. This is Monday Motivation / Let's Talk Nclex. We do this around here every Monday. I'm joining us. Go ahead and write down first. And if this is not your first time joining us, tell me where you're from. I want to know where our usual viewership is. I already know it's an international audience, but I am so pleased that you are spending your busy Mondays hanging out with me. This is Monday Motivation. And also, you're going to be happy today because the Nclex questions come from children's health, which is an interesting title. Children's health right now. Hello. Hi, Esther. How are you? Oh, my goodness. I'm so excited. Somebody from Mississippi is here. Hi. Thank you for joining us from Mississippi. I got Tennessee, Florida. Somebody from Branton, Florida is here. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is Monday Motivation. Let's Talk Nclex. If you've never been here before, you're going to be in for a treat because at the end of today, you will be changed. And that is the whole entire goal. You'll be excited about Nclex. You'll be excited about your motivational thought. And that will drive you towards success. And we want you to be successful. My name is Regina MSN. I have the pleasure of being the #1 Nclex instructor on this planet. You can ask anybody on YouTube, anybody on Facebook. Every Monday, I'm right here. I am right here with you guys. And I have the #1 nursing students on planet Earth. And you know what? You guys are honestly the best part of Remar Review. It's you. You make this program what it is. You make this broadcast what it is. And you will see the interactions that we have on here. Atlanta, Georgia, thank you for being here. Is what makes this community so amazing. I have somebody from Nigeria. Becky, thank you so much for being here. This is Monday Motivation. Again, my name is Regina MSN. I'm happy to be here. Today's Monday Motivation, who do I have on YouTube? Trinidad. Oh my goodness. Trinidad. Yes, this is Regina. I'm saying hello, good morning to you in Trinidad. Good day for New York. Love New York. Barbara, thank you. Barbara says I'm the #1 Nclex instructor on the planet. Today's Monday Motivation comes from my own personal experience. You guys know I like to pull out things that I am incorporating into my life so that you guys can do the same if you choose. But today's Monday Motivation topic is simply this: use your mind. Use your mind. Oh, this is such a good point. This is so good. I'm not even going to go into it right now. Using your mind, we all should be doing that. And some of us think that we're doing that, but we're actually not. So we're going to talk about that. But I like to start with this it's a testimonial from one of the Remar nurses. And she's actually, some of you guys can relate to this. She's a mom of 3. And she passed her Nclex RN. Check it out. Check this out. Let me see if I can do this. Here we go.
Let me start this video by saying I'm a proud Remar nurse. I passed the Nclex 75 questions in 45 minutes. Let me give you a small background about myself. I'm Michelle, a foreign graduate from the Philippines. That was 2006. And I took the exam November and passed 1 try. I know that my testimony is kind of late, but I still want to try to inspire or encourage other foreign nurses out there, that especially those mommies out there that want to try to take the Nclex exam and you don't know what to do or how are you gonna study. I studied for 8 months, and the first 4 months was full of frustration, depression, crying, because I was just like trying my best to study and I don't get the result that I want. I just found myself reading a book for already like a week, same topic, and I don't even understand what's in it. And doing the practice questions gave me a lot of depression because of all the scores that I'm getting. And that time, my kids were under 3 years old. I'm breastfeeding that time. I'm a full-time mom, but I still have difficulty of studying. I have a lot of distractions. They are my priority, but I want to pass the NCLEX exam. So Regina was having a Facebook Live review that time. I bought their program and I received 4 books. These are the 4 books that I received. And honestly, I focus on these 2 books. The Quick Fact for NCLEX, I found out that they have a DVD for it, so I bought this one separate. I only study from 11 p.m. up to 3 a.m. because I need sleep. My kids were are so active, so I need energy. So don't overload yourself. You need to rest your brain. Okay, really don't overload yourself. In 2 months, I think I already in 2 months I think I already familiarized with this book. I continue I go ahead and answer some practice questions, and I saw a big improvement because
That's
before
great.
I'm getting
Listen
only
to
like
this story,
10 to
guys.
20%, and then after I like familiarized with this book, I already getting like
Incredible.
50 to 60 to 70%. It's so fun. I highly recommend to use Remar. It really works for me, and you can see it for yourself. Go and like her page, participate in her Facebook
Yes,
Live.
what we're
Try
doing
to
right now.
watch her Facebook Live review your program. It really helps me a lot to prepare for the exam. And thank you so much.
You are so welcome. You are so welcome. So, again, this was our mom of 3. She was our testimonial for this week. I loved her story because she had all the excuses why she couldn't study. I have kids, they're under 3, I'm breastfeeding, I'm a mom. Those all say responsibility, right? Her whole situation was, I have other things that I need to be doing, but I'm going to prioritize this. I'm going to prioritize this goal, because if I accomplish this goal, everybody around me will benefit, right? And so at the beginning of this week, you guys have to have that same mindset that, yes, I have responsibilities. We have so many responsibilities, but I need to prioritize this goal. So she said she was doing what you guys do now. She's on the live. She brought the program. And I have to tell you guys, we've been doing something really phenomenal here. We've been giving like just crazy discounts off of the package that she's holding. The one that she says she used, we've been just discounting it because we want you guys to have it. But today I have to tell you is the last day of the sale that we've been doing. It's the last day of both of them. So let me just show you guys this. It ends today. The $50 off code. Some of you guys always email about $50 off. This was the code RNU. We're taking that down today. So if you haven't gotten the program and you want to use this code, you can use it. And that's for the DVD self-study program. Okay, the DVD self-study program. That's the 6-week program. Also ending today. Some of you want to do the online program. Our online program that has the 99% passing rate, that also is ending today. And we've been doing 100, yes, not 50, not 60, not 80, $100 off of that online program. Somebody was on here today, said they just started studying. They love it. So shout out to you guys that are making the investments into your NCLEX review. Don't forget as well, pass NCLEX, tell your story with the videos. So our new nurse, she'll be getting a video, but you guys also, if you want to exchange out your t-shirt for your testimonial, I'm also giving the copy of First Shift, my newest book, How to Dominate Your First 2 Years of Nursing. Literally, if I was your mentor, if I was there meeting you on the job, these are the things I would tell you. So in here, I talk about what to put on your resume, what to say in your interview, and also how to prepare for your interview. And also not only that, once you get the job, how to accept the offer. Let me tell you guys, there is a right way and a wrong way to accept a job offer in nursing. So I talk about it here, as well as how to get through those first 2 years. So tough. I'm glad I got out alive. I'm glad I got alive. So we're going to get into now our Monday motivation. While you're here, really consider what you need to do to really make this the year you get your license. All right. I know some of you are fed up with Nclex and fed up with studying. Let this be the day that you commit to doing what you need to do to get your license. All right. So let me show you guys this. This is a very important picture to me. It is actually my little girl, Salome, right? So you guys know Salome. She is a veteran for Remar Review. When I was pregnant with her, shout out to our new nurse. When I was pregnant with Salome, I was teaching for Remar. I was doing YouTube videos. If you guys follow me from back in 2014, if you look at my YouTube videos in 2014, I would literally have Salome in the video rocking with Remar for quite some time, to the point now where Salome has her own Facebook page and she has her own YouTube channel, Castle, right? So she's talking to her YouTube audience from there, dressed as a princess, right? But one thing about Salome, and one thing about her, is that has a lot of thoughts in her mind, right? So my daughter is constantly talking. She is constantly talking because the thoughts in her mind, they come out of her mouth, right? So you literally can be listening to her talk about 10,000 different things in the scope of a day, right? And as children, we typically see that behavior in children, right? How many all the time, they love to talk. They're talking. Nobody understands them, but they are talking, right? So this is important for us to think about. The thoughts in the mind of a child come out of the mouth, right? That's characteristic of a child. They speak all the time. But what happens to us when we get older? Do those thoughts stop? Do the thoughts that are racing through our minds as children and we talk about all the time, when we get older, do they stop? Do we not think anymore incessantly? Or does this happen, right? Does this happen? We have those same thoughts. But they just don't come out, right? They just don't come out. And so for some of us, these thoughts are constantly running through our minds, but because we're adults, we don't speak about them. And so they actually, our mind begins to run away with itself, right? And it takes you with it, to the point where we're not really monitoring our thoughts anymore. Our thoughts are literally just all over the place. And sometimes this is the root of why we can't focus on Nclex, because our minds are going, right? Week on this Monday, I need you guys to take control of your thoughts. Use your mind for the good, right? And so it's very introspective when you sit down and you really think about, okay, what am I thinking about right now? What am I daydreaming about? What is my mind wandering off to while I'm trying to focus? Because there's something there. There's something there that you might want to be aware of. So I have here for today, and I hope this is resonating with somebody, because this has been very powerful to me. Watch the thoughts that you allow to play out in your mind. If it's from the past or future, stop it right away. All right, right? So if you find yourself thinking about the past, right? Thinking about the past, oh, 10 years ago, I wish I would have never dropped out of that type. But it could really be, 2 years ago, my ex-boyfriend broke up with me and he did it because he said I was too big, or just something like that. If you're dwelling on your past, I need you this week to stop it, because you know what? The past is gone. You can't change it. You cannot access it. You can't do anything. Let your mind drift to the past. Is nothing there for you anymore, right? And the same point, if you're constantly thinking about your future, all right, and I'm not saying you can't have dreams and goals, because you absolutely can. But if you're living in a fantasy, right? If you're constantly thinking about, oh, life is going to be so good, it's going to be so great, I'm going to have so much money when I become a nurse, I'm going to be balling out of control, going on all type of vacations, I need you to stop that for this week too. I need you to stop it, because you're not there at that point. You're not living that life. That's not your reality, right? So I can't allow you to spend time somewhere that's not real. I need you guys to be about today, be about your business. And another thing about thinking about the future, that could also be like that can be micro steps. So like right now, you guys are supposed to be here listening to me, but really you're thinking about, oh, what you're going to eat for lunch in 20 minutes, or you're thinking about, oh, what am I going to cook for dinner? That also is an example of living in the future, right? Stop and learn to enjoy what is right in front of you, because it's very good, right? Whatever you're going to be doing in the future, you'll get there when it's time. But right now, what are you supposed to be giving your attention to? What are you supposed to be focused on? That's the motivation for this week. So I see this all the time in nursing students, where they have this thing that is a general term called anxiety, right? So a lot of students have anxiety because of the thoughts that are in their mind. Not that it's real, but the thoughts allow them to think that something is real. So what, we all have anxiety about Nclex, because in our minds we've created these horrific scenarios that are not true. They're just not real. But when we think about Nclex, our mind says, oh, it's going to be so hard, or oh, you may not pass and you'll fail and things will be horrific. And so there's this anxiety based off of a future thought, or based off of our past. We failed it the last time, so we carry that failure into the now, into the present, and it's a big old mess for us, right? And so we're struggling to study, but also we're struggling because of the thoughts that we allow to run off in our mind, right? So I found this picture of it, and it's this lady, for those who'll be watching on podcasts, but it's this lady, and she's holding a huge boulder over her head. And then there's this other lady, and she's like, what's that for? Right? Because the boulder is called, what's the boulder called? The boulder is called anxiety. All right. So the lady's like, what's that for? And the lady that's holding the big boulder of anxiety says, I don't know, but I can't put it down. I can't put it down. And so that's us. Sometimes it's like somebody says, this is super powerful. As a man thinketh, so shall he be. Whatever you thought and focused on, you'll be. Yes, I like that. So the idea, some of us are like that. We're holding on to this like thing above our heads, this anxiety, this pressure, this weight, and we don't even know why we're holding on to it. Like we're getting nothing from it. We're getting nothing from it. And so sometimes I'm like that with you guys. What are you doing that for? Why are you so afraid? Why haven't you tested? Why can't you stay focused? Why haven't you passed Nclex yet? And you guys are like, I don't know. I just can't put Nclex down. I just want to hold it up here forever, because it's become a part of who I am. Like, that's the issue. Like, some of us have just identified ourselves as somebody who has not passed Nclex. And that's how we perceive ourselves. So everything we do subconsciously keeps us in that position. We've just perpetually become the person who is not past Nclex, because we've embraced that identity. So I want you guys to embrace a new identity. Become the person that's going to pass Nclex, despite all of the challenges, despite all of your responsibilities. Take on a new identity. But where does that start? In your mind. You cannot hold on to the Nclex forever, right? We've settled into it. We've allowed it to comfort us, but it's painful. This is not where we want to be forever. So this week, you have a responsibility, and that is to control your thoughts, right? Control your thoughts about, number one, who you are. And that's not based on your past. And that's not based on an imaginary future. Who you are today. Today, you are whole, you are capable, you are fully prepared to pass this test, right? So I have this one thought here, and we'll get into it for Nclex. The thought is, use your mind. Don't let your mind use you. Can we agree to that? Use your mind. Don't let your mind use you. Oh man. I'm gonna let you guys think about that. Think about because it is going to be life-changing for somebody today. And that's why I'm so glad that you guys spend your Mondays with me, because the motivation really sometimes is the life-changing action that will get you to pass Nclex. All right. So, yes, thank you. Somebody says, you're speaking to me. They're speaking to me. All right. So we're going to get into our Nclex. I don't want to keep you guys long. I enjoy the dialogue. But so for our Nclex today is, bam, child health. Child health. So our next Nclex questions will be regarding this topic. All right. So let's do it. Shout out to everybody from all over. I appreciate you jumping in on me here. All right, so here we go. Question number 1. Are you ready? Remar nurses. Number 1, a nurse is caring for a 12 years old client who has just received a new kidney transplant. The transplant patient should be taught that they will need to take their anti-rejection medications for how long after their transplant? Is it number 1, for the rest of their life, 2, for the first 6 months, 3, until the creatinine and BUN levels are stabilized, or 4, for up to 2 years? So, what saith you? Hey, what saith you guys? Okay, mixed answers, and that's all right, because we're here to learn. But the goal is that you put your answer down and then share this video. That Monday motivation topic was a game changer. Share that message to ones that you love. All right, I appreciate it. All right, so the correct answer, all of you guys, pretty much everybody knows this. The correct answer is number 1. For the rest of their life. Let me read the rationale to you. The anti-rejection medication works to prevent the recipient's body from rejecting the new kidney. So when we're teaching this transplant patient, the body will find out, hey, here that doesn't belong. There's somebody in here that was not here when we first started. And so they will attack that new kidney. So it is very important for them to know that you have to be consistent in your medication. And this is really important because after you get your new organ, you start to feel better. And you think, wow, I'm really past the whole pain and disease process. But no. The body is very, very wise, right? The human body is very wise. So you have to take it for the rest of your life. Let's move on to question number 2. It says, a pediatric nurse has been assigned 4 clients. Who should she see as a priority? Who should she see first as a priority? We have a 9-year-old reporting pain 6 out of a 0 to 10 scale while attached to a PCA pump? Or is it 2, an 8-year-old client vomiting while receiving chemotherapy? 3, a 6-year-old child with asthma wheezing while receiving IV hydrocortisone sodium succinate? Or 4, a 10-year-old with a blood glucose of 30 after receiving insulin 3 hours ago? Okay, Remar nurses, it's time to put on that clinical judgment. Yes, put on your clinical judgment hat. Excellent. I think we are unanimous here. Doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's always good to see. You guys got this one. Excellent. Number 4, of course. This 10-year-old blood glucose level way too low, way too low. And this just lets you know that insulin is such a powerful medication. It is really a powerful medication here. So a child whose blood glucose level is about 50 should be an immediate concern, right? So normal average range for blood glucose is, I'm sorry, that should say, that should say 90. I'm sorry, that's not, don't look at that right there. 70 to 110, 70 to 110. Anything below 60 is considered a critical value. And I apologize for those numbers. I was listening when I did this last night. I was a little tired. Okay. So that should say 70 to 110. So anything below 60 is considered a critical value. The child with asthma is currently receiving treatment for his condition. So that goes back to, as a matter of fact, let me see if I should be able to just go into here and edit it really quickly for you guys. So let me correct this. So I don't have any confusion for my students that may jump on here later. Just make sure I can do that for you. And thank you for giving me the time to do this on this broadcast. There we go. Okay, so correction. The normal average range for blood glucose is 70 to 110. Here, anything below 60 is considered a critical value. And so some people may have picked, some people that may were watching may think that the child with asthma, because it's an airway issue, is the priority. But this child at this time is receiving treatment, So that is not going to be the priority here. That is not going to be the priority here. Okay, so shall we continue? Let's check out question number 3. Question number 3 is this one. It's tricky, but I think you guys can do it. A nurse is caring for a child with what? The child has hydrocephalus. The condition has been treated with a shunt. Which of the following should the client avoid while at school? So we are going to be looking at some activities here. What do you guys think? Number 1 says tennis. 2 says wrestling. 2 says running. 3 is wrestling. And 4 is swimming. So a child who used to have hydrocephalus, the condition has been treated with a shunt. What activity should they avoid? 1 is tennis. 2, running. 3, wrestling. 4, swimming. And with Nclex, you know, all of these look right. But there's one that's going to be worse than the others. And that's what makes it so tricky. All right. So we're looking at a division between 3 and 4. So wrestling or swimming, which one? Oh my goodness, wrestling or swimming. That's what we got it down to here on Facebook and also on YouTube. All right, let me reveal the correct answer to you guys. It is actually option number 3. Yes, avoiding the contact sports is going to be the most important. So the contact sports such as football and wrestling are going to be no-nos. But sports such as swimming, tennis, and running, they provide the child with an opportunity that has more of a limited risk for damaging that shunt or dislodging it in any way. Yeah, so some people are just putting like, hey, contact sports can't do. So shout out, good job. And you know what? It's about learning here. It's about learning. It's not about being perfect, all right? So that's one thing I love about coming together as a community every week is because we are learning in real time. And if we make mistakes, we can just correct them. And if we don't know something, we can just learn it. And at the end of the journey, we become a better person, right? So that's what this is about here. And I know that you guys may have a lot of Nclex reviews, and you may know a lot of different companies, but I really hope that you appreciate what we're trying to create here with you as the main focus, right? So everything that we do, we want you to know that without you guys, it is impossible. It's impossible for us to have a community if you guys are not a part of it. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to the learning process. It requires much patience, much grace with each other. All right. Question number four. Let's go. It simply states here. We have a nurse is preparing an adolescent for a procedure. Which is the most appropriate approach to convey information to the client? Number one, allowing the parent to be the primary source of information. 2, providing information about the procedure close to the surgery time. 3, recognize information is best provided by the physician. Or 4, providing the adolescents with as much information as requested to anticipate the event. What are we going to do for this adolescent client? What are we going to do for this adolescent client in order to convey information? Number 1 says, allow the parent to be the primary source. 2, provide information about the procedure close to the surgery time. All right, this time issue here. 3, recognizing that the doctor is the best to provide this information, allowing the doctor to really explain the information to the client. Or is it 4, providing the adolescents with as much information as they want, as much as they can request, as much as they can handle? What is it? What is it going to be? Okay, so I tried to talk you guys out of it, but you didn't change your answer. So I have to reveal it to you. You knew it. Yes, number four is the correct answer. We want to provide the adolescents with as much information as possible, because remember, when we talk about developmental milestones and sickness in children, adolescents feel a loss of control when they are hospitalized and undergo procedures that invade their body. They need a detailed explanation of what will happen and what to expect, given to them in a respectful manner, because adolescents, they truly want to be treated as adults. They want to be treated as adults, right? And so that means that no, have one-to-one conversations with them. You want to allow them the autonomy to read about the procedure on their own and understand it in their way. You want them to be able to ask questions. And so this is a very important part for Nclex, for you to demonstrate to them that you understand how to have a therapeutic relationship with an adolescent. All right, so that makes sense. Most of you guys got that right anyway, because you're just so awesome. You know it. All right. Okay, last question, and I promise you guys I'll let you go. Last question is this one. Which of the following needs must be considered when caring for an adolescent patient newly diagnosed with type 1 diabetes mellitus? Number 1, acceptance of diagnosis because of the desire to be the same as peers. 2, initiating self-responsibility early. 3, monitoring, since insulin can be manipulated to lose weight. Or 4, creating self-resilience by not involving parents with education. So, what one is going to be the best answer for Nclex? All right, the best answer for Nclex. When you talk about what type of patient, an adolescent patient newly diagnosed with type 1 diabetes mellitus, what is going to be the main need that you should consider when talking about this patient? okay, when dealing with this patient. All right. And the answer is coming up. I'm allowing just a few more people to answer. Answers coming in 3, 2, 1. Yes, the main priority is acceptance of the diagnosis because of the desire to be the same as the peers. All right. And if I could just simply explain this rationale, I don't even think it takes a great deal of explanation. Um, I'll read it instead of, I'll just read what I did. It says diabetes makes an adolescent feel different at a time when conformity and sameness are desired. This need to be like one's peer contributes to the difficulty adjusting to being diagnosed with diabetes. Okay, so that's for my analytical visual learners here. Here's the text on the screen of why it's so important. If I could put it in my own words, it is this. Nurses, we have to understand that if we don't get this teenager or this child to accept this diagnosis, they will die. All right. Type 1 diabetes mellitus has to be treated with medication. If you have a child who does not want to be different, they will ignore the diagnosis. They will ignore the signs of when they're sick and as a way to be normal, right? And it will happen even unto death, right? So one of the most important things is for the adolescent child to know, hey, you have this disease, but you can still have a normal life like your peers. You can still go to the same places. You just have to take your monitor, right? You can still go to summer camp. You can still go to the same schools. You can still go to birthday parties. You can still do all these things. You have to allow them to see that they're actually not so different after all, because the danger of them not accepting the diagnosis can be deadly, right? And so it's very important that we understand that for Nclex. One of the questions I get a lot is, how do I come up with the topics for Nclex, right? Schools ask me that all the time. They see me and they say, how have you done all these things, right? It blows their mind that it could actually be me. And I understand that. Right? But one of the things that you can look at to understand what the scope of new nursing is our practice analysis, right? So the NCBSN, they do a survey and they ask new nurses from all over the country, what are you doing? And they look at the results and they see, wow, 80% of new nurses are doing diabetic education. So guess what happens when it's time to write Nclex questions? They put questions about diabetic education on there. And so it's no great mystery, like what you need to know to pass Nclex. And when I'm doing these questions for you guys, they always have a purpose. They're always to intentionally move you towards your goal of passing Nclex. So take it serious when you come here. Focus and understand that this is part of your journey. This is part of your journey to pass Nclex. So I hope you enjoyed our study sessions because the questions were important for you to know for your exam. Child health. Don't skip this section. Don't skip this section of the review. Don't skip this section of your studying, right? All right. So before I let you go, just want to be a last final reminder for you guys that the sale ends for the DVD self-study program. It ends on today. That code RNU will be expiring today. And also for those of you who are interested in the online academy, $100 off. That sale ends today. So I see a question here. And the question is the most difficult for me. Which one is better? Is it the DVD or is it the online? Which one is better? I'm going to answer it, but I'm going to tell you this first. Both have the same lecture material in it. So both will have everything that I teach in the classes, right? If a school or a company brings me in to teach their nursing students, I say a certain certain amount of things, right? I say a certain amount of things. And so I put that in both of the lectures. Now, if you're considering the DVD program, hand DVD to me, all right? If you're considering this program, I would say get this program if you are a repeat test taker or international nurse. And the reason why is because you will be able to have these DVDs for however long it will take you to study. Now, I'm just going to keep it real. Some of you guys that are repeat test takers, it requires you to hear the information over and over again. You need to be able to study without having to worry about, oh my gosh, I only got 20 days left of my online program. You don't need that kind of stress in your life. So the DVD program is cool because it comes with DVDs and physical books. So you actually get books sent to you that you just begin to take notes in, right? So the DVD program, definitely for international nurses or repeat test takers. Again, this is $50 off for today. And one thing about the DVD program too as well, and I don't know where Mark got this book from, but this is an older book, but it has the daily study calendar in it, so you know exactly what you're studying for the day and for the 6 weeks. So that's extremely helpful. All right, so DVD program for repeat test takers, international nurses, or people who you just know you're slow. All right, just keeping it real. You know you're slow, and even though it's a 6-week program, you know because you're working, because you have kids, because you're breastfeeding, whatever it is, it's going to take you about 3 months to prepare. Like, you know that. So the DVD program for that. Now, if you love computers and you love having timed assessments, and you love having accountability, because with the online program, you also will get homework and lectures and things like that, but they will be on the computer. So the way my system is built is that you have to, after you watch a lecture, when it's time for homework, you're not doing it in the book, you're actually doing it online, and it's a quiz, right? And you have to get an 80% on that quiz in order to move on. Okay, in order to move on. Now you can take the quiz, over and over again if you need to, but it will not let you move on until you get that 80%. And also, more than likely, new questions will come up when you take the quiz, right? So that's the kind of feel in the online program. It's very structured, it's very rigid, it's a lot of accountability. All right, so you have your evaluations, you have your progress exams, you have your quick facts quizzes in that online program. And so to get through it, not only do you have the time element, because it's a 60-day access, but you also have the performance element as well to make sure that you're getting through it, but with knowledge. You know what I mean? Like, you're not, some online programs you can just click through. Yeah, I watched the lecture. Yeah, I watched the lecture. Took a quiz, got all of the questions wrong, but I'm still going on to the next part. It's not that feel, all right? So you have to really think about what it is that you want. Now, what I can say is that with the online program, there is a money back guarantee, right? So when you sign up for it, you'll be able to go to the questions and answers on the website, remarnurse.com, and you'll be able to read how the money back guarantee works. But right now, like Mark said, based on the refunds that we give out for that program, we're at a 99% passing rate. So the program is no joke. The online program, it is not easy, all right? But it is thorough and it is effective. So you have your options. Like I said, either one is great. I don't know, okay? Either one is great. When you listen to the testimonials of a mother with 3 kids, international nurse, you know, people that failed the exam 10 times, they get that DVD program. Something clicks for them during the 6 weeks. They're changed, whether it's the mindset, the mentality, you know what it is. It works. All right. And then with the money back guarantee for our online academy, that works as well. So you really have to make the choice about what's going to be best for you, right? What's going to be best for you? Can I order the online program now but utilize it later? No. Once you order it, you get started. Okay. So, excuse me. Let me show you this. If you have any questions, email me, support@remarreview.com. Questions, concerns, prayer, we will be able to help you pick the right answer for what you need right now, okay? And let me see if we have, the website is remarnurse.com for any ordering, or here it is right here. remarnurse.com. It's a new website for us, so you'll be able to order your products there. Also, you can read about the products, you can read about testimonials. And again, if you need any kind of advice about what is best for you, the website is support@remarreview.com. report@remarreview.com. So $100 off. I'm not even going to tell you the price, guys. Just go to remarnurse.com. Look at it. No coupon code needed if you're interested in the online academy. No coupon code needed. The price is already dropped. So we like to say this here. We can, we will, we must, we can, we will, and we must pass Nclex. I had an amazing Monday motivation with you guys. I just can't wait until next week when we do it again here at Remar Review. So we can, we will, and we must pass Nclex. See you guys next week. Bye.